Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday evening. Um, Hope you're all doing well or okay. um, uh, I don't even know where I'm at right now. It's been kind of a kind of a quiet weekend in that I didn't really do much of anything, or certainly didn't go anywhere. Obviously. Um, The only thing, I had talked the last video about that portable oxygen machine or portable oxygen that was from a canister, cylinder, small. And I talked to the oxygen company yesterday about it and found out that the oxygen is, so to speak, on demand. It senses when you breathe in and it lets a puff of air out rather than like this thing here on the condenser. This is a constant. The air is constantly flowing nonstop, and so getting oxygen in there all the time. Whereas the other one is, you actually literally have to sniff in and you can hear it go, poof. It puts out a puff of oxygen. Well, what I discovered from today, this thing, it's not going to really do me any good. Because, for example, today I decided I was going to go sit on the roof and just sit out and be in the sun a little bit for a few minutes and try it out. Try the portable thing out. And so I went up and sat there, and just sitting there, it wasn't so bad. Kept getting out of breath, and then I make sure I keep getting it in, the air in. But I still felt very lightheaded. So I tried it again this afternoon when I went to sit and meditate with my neighbor, where it was very quiet. I couldn't hear this afternoon when I was outside, but it was very quiet, and I could hear the puff when you breathe in, it would puff the oxygen out. So I was listening for that, and I'm sitting and meditating, and nothing. And then you'd hear the puff. So basically what I discovered is I'd have to breathe like this to get it to do it, to give oxygen. Well, I don't breathe like that. I don't think too many people do, but I do have a very, to stop a minute, getting out of breath. So I breathe very shallow. I do. When I've had oxygen tests not oxygen, but lung capacity test, my total lung capacity is about 55% of normal. So it's already quite low. I don't have a lot of space, because there's some scarring, because of the scoliosis that I have, because of the chest surgeries I've had. My chest cavity, my chest wall is stiff and doesn't, move normally. Certainly not as much as an average person would. So for me to, under normal circumstances, I breathe very shallow. And that's just how I breathe, unless I'm doing something. And then I noticed so after we were sitting and I noticed that it wasn't kicking in and I was getting short of breath, I noticed then we got up to walk out into the garden for a minute. And with that extra movement, it made me breathe harder. And then I could hear the puffing going. But, so it's just not going to work. And I was hoping the nurse was coming tomorrow so I could ask her to try to get the, for portable oxygen, get the kind that constantly runs, like the, the air compressor that I have for this. And I've used the other ones when I was flying. I had to use an air compressor because I need oxygen when I fly. So I just don't know if they're going to cover it insurance-wise. I really, really hope so, because I'm sure these canisters are far cheaper than the machine. So we'll see. And so I've been waiting around for the nurse to call, because they called the night before they come, and I was pretty sure she was coming tomorrow. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. It's like, oh, tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day. So it's a holiday. I think it's a federal holiday, as far as I know. So she won't be here tomorrow, bottom line. So I think she'll come Tuesday, and maybe I will get the thing by Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know, we'll see. But that's not gonna work. And I need something that at least, if I can't get something that's gonna work, I won't be able to go outside at all. That's just, I hope I'm pretty sure it won't end up that way, but the case is I can't use this as my portable oxygen. Just doesn't work for me. So anyway, that's that. That was my big discovery of the day. And I'm just exhausted. I'm still exhausted. Oh, and then I came upstairs from having used the portable oxygen. I came upstairs, I took it off, I had to go to the bathroom, I went to the bathroom, and then I got my pulse ox to see what my oxygen was at. So mind you, I didn't have this on, and it was at 77%. The lowest I've ever seen in my adult life, ever. The lowest so far at all. So what I see happening is that I'm not sure exactly why, but my oxygen levels are dropping and dropping and dropping. Maybe my heart is not pumping as well. Maybe there's something going on with my lungs. Oh, and I weighed myself this morning and I gained 2 pounds. Shouldn't have gained 2 pounds. Certainly was not from food. So it's either that is one of two things or both. When you take opioid medicines, it stops your bowels from working very well. So I haven't had a decent bowel movement. Didn't think you'd hear about that, did you? Anyway, I didn't have a decent bowel movement for 3 days. And yesterday I took this stuff they gave me. It's called lactulose, which is supposedly the big mighty guns of, if you can't go with Senna and Miralax, you'll go with lactulose. I took one last night, a teaspoonful last night. Nothing today. So this afternoon I took a larger amount. And I started having a lot of gas. And then I did go to the bathroom, but a fairly small amount. So I figure either I'm holding on to poop or I'm holding on to water um, as far as the gaining weight, which with my pulse ox being so low, I think would be a possibility too, that my lungs have some fluid in them. I don't know. All I know is I don't feel good. I really don't. My pain level's good. It's funny, last night I had a dream, or not a dream, a thought as I was drifting off to try to sleep. I had a thought. What if I just run away? Not tell anybody anything. Not tell anybody anything at all. Sneak out of my apartment, sneak out of my building, with the money I have in the bank, and just go. Just go. I don't know where. I don't know how. But this was going on in my mind. Just go. Just get away from here. And then it was like, oh, trying to outrun death. See if I can get away with it. See if I can get away from it. And I was like, that's interesting. Of course, that's not going to work. So, but I thought it was kind of an interesting thought, that I want to get away from it all. I want to run away from death, not deal with any of this, not deal with my bowels, not deal with pain levels, not deal with machines that don't work right, being stuck in my apartment, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not doing very well today at accepting things, being okay with things as they are. I'm not. I'm exhausted. That's all I can say. I'm sorry, my energy is so low, and I really I don't have much of anything to say. But I did want to stop in and just give a brief update. Brief, 13 minutes already, holy smokes. But I keep getting out of breath just talking on here with oxygen. So I'm going to stop. And I guess tomorrow is a holiday, so there won't be a nurse tomorrow, so nothing new will come from that. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm just can't. I keep trying to catch my breath, and I'm not doing a very good job. I just want to lay down. So anyway, that's it. I thank you for listening, stopping by. I love it that there's more people putting likes on and actually even subscribing and watching some of the videos, and knowing that perhaps these are getting out and people are seeing them, and that perhaps maybe someone who feels like no one understands what they're going through. I can tell you I pretty well do. In a lot of ways. I don't know I can't relate to everything anybody else is going through, but I can relate to a lot. And if you're dying too, I can relate to that. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna stop. It's a good night. Keep putting the likes or whatever, subscribe, so it helps me to know you're there. There, I said it. It helps me to know you're there. I'm here for you, but it helps me to know that you're there, if you would. So thanks. Have a good evening. If you're in the United States, have a good holiday tomorrow, and see you soon. Have a good evening.